already paid my estimated premiums. Why do I need to fill out this audit? Now, that is a question that we get on a regular basis from our clients and other people that we talk to across the state. So if you're a contractor, if you're a manufacturer, if you own a business at all, and you get an audit request for your premiums, your payrolls, or your sales, when it comes to your insurance, you need to fill that out and you need to do it on time. Here's a couple of reasons why that's going to matter for you. Number one is you can be contractually and legally charged an estimated audit. If you don't fill out that audit information, the carrier can estimate your premiums to be 25 to even 50% more than what they were last year. And that audit is typically due in 60 days. So if you have a July 1st renewal and you don't have that audit completed in time, they can, by August 1st or September 1st, they could be slapping you with an additional 50% of last year's premiums. Number two is that next year's policy or your new policy term. When you don't complete that audit, what you're going to now see is your premium increasing based on that estimate. So if last year's estimate increased 50%, you're going to do that at least for this year, if not more, to make sure that they're getting their premium dollars. And the thing that's kind of that kiss of death here is number three is you can have what's called a 60-day notice of cancellation. If you don't do this audit 60 days later and you get a non-compliance for audit or non-audit non-compliance notice, you can be kind of blacklisted from them. They can cancel your policy and it could make it nearly impossible for you to get coverage somewhere else. Now, we have come up against this with people we have brought into our office and we have helped them find solutions. We have helped them appeal and overturn audit premiums in the past. But some of the best ways to do this are not that. That takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of effort. You run the risk of being uninsured for a time because you can't get it, or running into the state pool and paying different premiums and not having coverages and paying more than you might need to. So a couple of things that you can do when it comes to making sure that these risks are mitigated as much as possible. Number one, the first thing you can do is actually, if you're eligible or if your carrier allows, do a pay-as-you-go process. There are ways where you can either, number one, just download your payroll reports and send them over to the carrier. They give you an invoice and you pay that invoice for your work comp. It's a wonderful way to go. Two is there is some software that can actually plug directly into your payroll, depending on who you use, whether it's ADP, QuickBooks, Paycheck, depending on who that is. That software can connect directly to it and run those reports automatically and send those reports directly to the carrier. That is a pay-as-you-go system. There are a number of carriers that do this, and depending on your industry, we really recommend it. The second thing you really want to look at here is if you hire subcontractors or 1099 staff or vendors to do work for you. This is where we really talk a lot about making sure that you have certificates of insurance. You kind of have that certificate vault. When you pay anyone anything that's not an employee of yours, you need to make sure that you have that certificate and that COI. Because when you try to separate those revenues or those payrolls or expenses out at the end of the year during your audit, you have to have documented proof that you had a COI for them during that time frame. If you do not, you will be responsible for every dollar you paid your own people in payroll and every dollar you paid them or they paid their people. This COI vault, the certificate vault, is one of the most important things that you can do. If your agent is not helping you with that, please, number one, fire them, and number two, call us. We're happy to help. The last thing I would tell you is if you are paying your people overtime, there is a thing in Illinois where you can do what's called overtime segregation, meaning that you're only going to be responsible for the regular hourly wage, and you can separate out that premium pay on top of this. So there's a couple of rules that go with that. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but you have to segregate out that overtime from regular pay, and you have to be able to separate it out per employee. So when that payroll audit comes and you're looking at that work comp side, all of those things can actually help you make sure to mitigate your total risk. Now, if you've never heard these things before and you're still here and you're a contractor or manufacturer or just a regular old business owner here in Illinois, and we're not regular, please reach out to my team. We would be more than happy to help. We insure businesses all across the state and would love to help with your work comp. My name is Patrick McBride. I own the McBride Agency here. We have multiple locations across the state, and we're looking to serve you with the most modern insurance experience possible with never compromising on your personal connection.